Good morning, this is Jason Ucino from Learning Space, and I'm driving to school. Today I'm going to talk about Year 8 mathematics. To me, Year 8 mathematics is the most important, even more important than Year 12. And the main reason is because how you perform or how your child performs in Year 8 maths determines what course they will get into in Year 9. In fact, it's not even called a course. In some places they call it a pathway. So it determines what pathway of mathematics that your child will undertake. Now, Year 9 and Year 10 is known as Stage 5. And in Stage 5, it's broken up into three pathways, if you like. 5.1, 5.2 and 5.3. 5.3 in the old language is advanced and 5.2 in the old language is intermediate. 5.1 would be the low ability maths, and it's usually a small class of students with learning support. Now, what you would like your child to do, if possible, is to get into the 5.3 course. And the reason for that is because when you're in 5.3, you have more options in Year 11 and 12. A 5.2 student in Year 9 and 10 can only do standard mathematics in Year 11 and 12, or no maths at all, because remember, mathematics is not compulsory in 11 and 12. However, a 5.3 student has the capabilities of doing advanced maths, extension maths, or mathematics extension and mathematics advanced, and mathematics standard. So it gives the child more option. And there's many courses at university that only allows you to do the course if you did a minimum of mathematics advanced. So you see, from Year 8 maths all the way up to university, you're pretty much determined on what you can do later on. So what you would like your child to do is to do the best as much as they can in Year 8. If you ask a Year 8 student what do they want to do when they leave school, most of them won't know. So the ideal thing to do is to keep their options open. A Year 8 student performs well, then they get onto their pathway of 5.3. So the ultimate goal for a Year 8 student is to get into 5.3 in Year 9. From 5.3, you can only go downward. It's very, very difficult to go up. So if you're in 5.3 Year 9, you can fall into 5.2 Year 10, so you do have to keep the consistency, but you can't go up. So if you're a 5.2 student in Year 9, you can't do 5.3 in Year 10 because you did not learn the 5.3 content in Year 9. So that is something that I tell a lot of parents, and it's something that not many schools articulate very well, and it is a real shock to a lot of parents when they find out about it. So Year 8 is super important. So if you're ever going to get extra support, or if you want to have a sit down with your child and explain to them that they have to do very well, Year 8 is the time to do it. Not Year 11, not Year 12. If you like my videos and you want to see more, head to learningspace.net.au/drive into school. Thank you and have a good day.